as far as like what I was talking about with like not taking it personal,
Mm-hmm.
I remember working on something and giving it to Josh
Mm-hmm.
because I was just like, "Yo, Josh got Ovum, and that's a Philly label. Let me get on a Philly label, man. This would be great." And I gave Josh this CD with the 2 tracks I put on it, and I gave Matty Brookman a copy of it. And later on, when I saw Josh was just like, it's nice, man. It's not my style or what have
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm sitting thinking to myself, it's funny. I sat and listened to the stuff that you produced, so I would have some direction
Mm-hmm.
after listening to what you put out and who you have on your label, so I can kind of get myself acclimated to that catalog.
Mm-hmm.
But it does. He said, no, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like it should be not a good fit. And I'm like, okay. Now, yeah, I took that personally because I was like, I would introduce Josh to my friends, and they're like, well, they would ask Josh where he's playing next, and he says, well, just follow Brian. He'll tell you where I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like, yeah, that's kind of true. And then after that, I was kind of just like, I was like, I bring people to see you, dog.
Okay,
Can we
well,
talk more about it?
right,
I
right.
just wanted to talk to him. I just wanted to talk more to him about it, just to find out like what didn't fit. And I never got that, but that's okay.
Did you
That's
ask him
okay.
that? Did you ask him that?
Yes, I had asked him about that, and he says, "Yeah, when I get a moment, we can sit down and talk about it." And you know
That
how busy
moment,
Josh
that
is.
moment, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you let me ask you this? Do you think yes, as I can tell you, I've had like many moments like this, and I'm sure, and actually, it's really interesting. Uh, I think this is why Mark and I don't speak anymore. For a very similar reason.
Mm,
Um, and I see one thing that I really realized is it's when people see you a certain way, it is really easy to offend them. It is
mm,
it is really really easy to offend people like and I think it's um well I'll tell you like I know Mark had sent me some music and I think I didn't respond to him fast enough.
mm.
And he really didn't like that. And now and he basically was like, see ya. I mean, I
Oh
think he
wow,
even literally wrote this to me in a message, like, nice knowing you.
wow.
And we never spoke again. And I think he was
Oh,
even living in Montreal or something. And
oh wow.
the thing was, I think that if it were a different time, because at the time I had started doing the Black 80s thing with
Mm-hmm.
my partner overnight or whatever, and we really started to break. We and so because like I had my career as a solo artist, but it really took a dive for quite a while. And the Black
Mm-hmm.
80s thing was the next thing where I kind of got back in the you know
Right.
into the public sphere or whatever like again.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sent me something at that time, and I think he really took it personally that I didn't like just, and I didn't do it on purpose. Like, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I'm concerned, like, he's from Philly, like, you know what I mean. He booked me for the first, I think, my first international gig in Canada. You know, he
Oh.
booked me for
Mm-hmm.
this part. I never forgot these things. You know what I mean? Like, and not only
Mm-hmm.
did he book me, like, everybody else went up in the bus, and he flew me there. I didn't ride on the bus because I was like because it was like some festival or whatever, and everybody else was like camping out. I was like, I don't want to camp. I want to
Mm-hmm.
just fly me to play and fly me out. I felt really bad
You know,
because it was so far from the airport. Like I felt bad for the people that drove me because I think it was like something like a 4 hour drive or even
Oof.
longer than that to get
Yeah.
from the airport to the party, and it was I felt super bad. But like I never forgot these things, you know what I mean? And we had
Yeah.
just been through so many things, you know what I mean? Being at parties
Hmm.
together and you know what I mean? Like and seeing him in Canada once I moved to Montreal and everything. I didn't mean anything by it, but he clearly was not happy with me. And
Yeah.
there was
Mm.
even no chance to like I think he even blocked me and all of this different kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
wow.
I say this to say, you know, you also have to consider if it was not Josh that said this to
Just this
you,
time.
would you take it the way that you took it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
or
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? And I think
Hmm.
it's one thing to kind of remember, and obviously, you know, with the thing with King, if it wasn't maybe if it wasn't King, I wouldn't have been bothered. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
it can be like that, and so it's important to not to try to take
Yeah.
these things into consideration a little bit, and also take
Yeah.
into consideration that like a lot of people want something from you. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like a lot of people want something from you, like and sometimes depending on the moment, it never stops. And so
Yeah.
it just so it's just that's all I'm saying. It's just one thing to
Oh
consider,
no. Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying.
Oh no.
So
No. Yeah. 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 I
I'm
get it.
not saying that he, Josh definitely he also has a sense of humor too that is like I didn't get it at first or whatever. He made me mad
Hmm.
like a bunch of times because when he dated Barb and when Barb was my roommate or whatever, he was always
Hmm.
like one time I needed to speak to him and Josh like he handed Barb handed me the phone because I was with Barb and I wanted to talk to Josh and then Barb handed me the phone and Josh was like, "Oh, tell him I don't want to talk to him." Like, but he was joking. This is the thing.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I
Okay.
like the thing is like I took that so personally. I was just like, he better not, because I think
Yeah.
we're working in
Hmm.
the bag. He better not come in the bag. We gonna have a problem,
Yeah.
Some drinks gonna get knocked over, you know. But like
Yeah.
he,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then Barb had to explain to me like, oh, dude, he was, But the thing is I didn't take it as a joke because it was him,
Got you.
you know.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody you kind of look up to or somebody that you kind of put in that mode, you're kind of like, yeah, that's the guy I need to talk to.
Yeah.
And then when you get to talk to that person and they kind of shoot you down or tell you different, and you're kind of just like, yo, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's the
So,
same. Oh, what you
yeah.
gonna say?
No, 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 yeah. No, but yeah, I totally know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. Um, but I've gotten better with that because it was like after that I was just like, I just need to work harder. Let me let me get back to the studio and work on this.
This is not an interview. There is no format. This is simply a conversation about life.